Hello, it is I. Now Forza loves attention to detail in their games, as a lot of their cars are staggeringly realistic, which is all very impressive. However, there are also some cars which seem to have a few mistakes. Well, that is why I made this video, as here are 20 cars which Forza Horizon 5 got wrong. Now this is meant to be a comedy sketch, so don't take this video seriously. If you cannot take a joke, then I suggest you watch some CoComelon. But if you're one of those legends that can actually take a joke, then obliterate that like button. 4,000 likes is the target, as per usual. If we can hit that, then I'll make a part 2 to this very video. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, now let's just get this one out the way. Here is a Nissan SILVIA S15, probably the best looking SILVIA ever made. Except in Forza, No. Yeah, just no. What is this, man? Cringy car, you know, the model of this car is so unrealistic. How can they approve something like this? Come on, guys. Now the Lamborghini Huracan is of course an automatic car, as it has 2 pedals and flappy paddles, which is realistic, there's no problem with that. However, when driving the car and shifting up or down, the paddles don't move? Now I'm sorry, yeah, but since when did Lamborghini start putting touch sensitive paddles in their cars? Because from my knowledge, the paddle actually moves when you press it. It doesn't stay like this. What is this, man? This is very unrealistic, Forza. How dare the paddles not move? Now here I am buying an R34 SKYLINE GTR, so you can get it in Bayside Blue, which is very nice. There's Millennium Jade as well, which is really cool, but where's Midnight Purple 3? How on earth can you disrespect Midnight Purple like that? I mean, at least people make designs with that colour, but this should be in the game as standard, man. So Forza, this is very unrealistic. I am very sad. This, my friends, is a Porsche 911 GT2 RS, which is essentially a racing car for the road. You can tell this as the car has center lock wheels, just like a Formula 1 car. However, when you change the wheel to something aftermarket, the car magically gets lug nuts? How is this even possible? In real life, you could only put center lock wheels on the GT2 RS, but all of a sudden there's a 5-bolt lug nut conversion? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call unrealistic. How dare they give this car peasantly lug nuts? Now as you can see here with this Bugatti DIVO, the car has a split rear window, which is of course realistic. DIVOs in real life do have split rear windows. However, when you're driving the DIVO using the cockpit camera angle, the rear view mirror shows a clear view of the back. But that's impossible. Surely there'd be a massive line in the middle of the mirror where the split rear window is. But there isn't, so that, my friends, is very unrealistic right there. How dare they get this wrong? How dare they? I'm very sad and disappointed. I'm gonna cry. Okay, so here I have a Maserati Gran Turismo, a car renowned for being one of the most unreliable cars the world has ever seen. These old Ferrari engines tend to get dead batteries very easily and refuse to start. So why is it that when I enter this car in Forza Vista and press the starter button, the car actually starts? What is this sorcery? Hey, where's Harry Potter? I cannot believe you got rid of the Italian character from this car. The issues are meant to be part of the Maserati experience. This is very unrealistic, Forza. How dare you strip the car of its personality? Now as you may know, some sports cars come with launch control, and the R35 GTR is very famous for this, as when you initiate it, the revs go up to 4,000 RPMs, then releasing it will launch your car and break your neck. However, in Forza Horizon 5, when you initiate launch control in the GTR, it only reaches 2,000 RPMs. Now that, my friends, is what's the word? Unrealistic. That, my friends, is very unrealistic. Now convertible cars have speed thresholds at which you can operate your roof. In some cars you have to remain stationary, however in other cars like McLarens, you could drive at up to 30 miles per hour whilst operating the roof. So here I am in my McLaren 720S Spider, driving at under 30 miles per hour, under 30. But when I try and operate my roof, it doesn't do anything, which is a little bit weird. However, when I bring my car to a halt, all of a sudden I can operate my roof. And now I cannot move my car. Yep, you cannot drive and operate your roof in this McLaren. You see, that right there is extremely unrealistic. How dare they get this car so wrong? Now as you may know, Ferrari has many strict policies with their cars. For example, you cannot alter with or remove the prancing horse emblems, you can't own a Lamborghini alongside your Ferrari, and of course you cannot paint the car in any shade of pink. So here I am with my beautiful Ferrari 458 Italia. As you can see, it is very pink. But where are they at though? Hey, who's gonna stop me? If I were to do this in real life, then Trident will be all over me, I'll be blacklisted from visiting Italy, and I'll be the most wanted man in the world. But I can paint a Ferrari pink in Forza with no consequences? Now that, my friends, is a little bit unrealistic. Just a little bit. Nah, it's very unrealistic. How dare you get this wrong? Now you may remember a few years ago when Top Gear did this weird experiment, where they took a Mark 7 Volkswagen Golf up to speed, and then they pulled a handbrake, which resulted in the car slowly coming to a halt with zero drama. So why is it that when I drive my Golf R at this slow speed of 40 miles per hour, when I pull the handbrake, yep, it does a madness. This is very inaccurate. If Top Gear pulled the handbrake at 120 miles per hour and nothing dramatic happens, how is my car flipping its whip at just 40? Very unrealistic, Forza. Very unrealistic. Now most new cars nowadays are fitted with soft limiters, meaning you can't rev the cars freely like you can with older cars. So why is it that with this brand new 992 Porsche 911, I can rev the car freely with nothing restricting me? These cars are meant to be riddled with soft limiters and restrictions, so this, my friends, is just a little bit unrealistic. I'll give that to you, Forza. And the McLaren 600 LT is very famous for shooting flames out of the exhaust whilst accelerating. It's like you're pressing the nitrous button in Need for Speed games. This is so cool. But why is it that with the 600 LT in Forza Horizon 5, when you accelerate, there is no flames coming out of the exhaust? It's only when downshifting that the exhaust pops a flame. Hey, you know what? Words cannot describe how unrealistic this McLaren is in Forza Horizon 5. Okay, now here we have a Range Rover Sport SVR. Very nice. As you can see, the door panels are perfectly level, everything lines up very well, it's all just spot on. Exactly how it should not be on a Range Rover. Yes, I know Range Rovers are meant to be luxurious and prestigious, but panel gaps are a big problem on these cars. They should not be this perfect. Oh yeah, and have a look at this. How does the bonnet open up and close without any problems? What is this? This is very unrealistic for a Range Rover. How dare you get this wrong, Forza? How dare you? Now, if you know your Ferraris, you'll know that pressing both the paddles simultaneously puts the car into neutral.
We're in an underpass.
Very nice. However, if you do that in a Ferrari in Forza, yeah, it don't do that. Now that, my friends, is very unrealistic. Oh yeah, and on the topic of paddles, why don't they move? What do you mean, Forza? They move in the older games, but they don't in this new game, which is meant to be upgraded and better in every single way, but they don't move. How dare you get this wrong? Forza, I hate to break it to you, but this is very unrealistic. I'm so sorry. Volvo produce some of the safest cars that money can buy, as the cars are filled with crazy gadgets and gizmos, which can potentially save the driver and the pedestrians. One feature is auto braking, which is seen in cars like the S60, which we have the estate version of in Forza Horizon 5. What a coincidence. However, when I drive this Volvo into a house, yep, the car doesn't stop and it crashes straight into the house. Yeah, that is very unrealistic, Forza. How dare you? Oh yeah, and here's another mistake. Why is there damage on a Volvo? Everybody knows it's impossible to damage a Volvo. Very unrealistic, Forza. Very unrealistic. Wow, going from one Swedish car to another. Now the Koenigsegg JESKO has a very unique tachometer, which is a screen mounted onto the steering wheel, which stays level as you rotate the steering wheel, which is very cool and quirky. However, in Forza Horizon 5, the tachometer doesn't stay level when turning. You see, that is unrealistic, Forza. How dare you? Yep, going back to the Mark 7 Golf R, you can hear DSG faster when you shift the car at speed. Now that, my friends, is very nice and realistic. Or is it? Because if you look inside the Golf R, you'd notice that it has a manual gearbox. Yep, this Golf is a stick shift. So how can you hear a DSG fart on a car that doesn't have a DSG transmission? Well, that, my friends, is what you call unrealistic. Forza, please step up your game. Okay, I'm going to be buying a Mark IV Toyota Supra because, as you may know, it's the most underrated car the world has ever seen, because it produces 2,000 brake horsepower with its stock engine. However, in Forza Horizon 5, it produces just 320 brake horsepower? Where did the other 1,680 horsepowers go? You can't just diminish the legendary Toyota Supra like that. You need to show its full engine output. So Forza, I'm so sorry, but this is extremely disrespectful and unrealistic. And I thought you cared about attention to detail. well. Now if you enjoyed this video, then you might enjoy this video up here, which I am hopefully pointing at. So give that video a watch if you're interested. I have no idea what that video is, YouTube chose it. But if you want to see my face on your timeline once in 4 days, button down below here, press it, you'll be subscribed to my channel. Anyways, have a good one guys. Cheers.